So my name is Natalie, and my Chinese name is Tian Qianhe, which I'm from China, obviously. And I came to Australia when I was 15 years old to study till right now I'm 20 years old. So we actually knew each other online, and then we were talking online, but then we only started dating after our first event at uni, which is Monsu's beach party, and we started going out after that event. So yeah, uni linked us together. So I don't think there's much differences between dating an Aussie or like a Chinese dude for my personal preference. I think it's all depends on who you're really dating and like so who the person is. I think everyone's different, but like not because of race. The only thing I'll point out is that I think my Aussie boyfriend really likes a good barbecue, which I can't say the same. I think we kind of blend into each other's culture. And then because we always encourage one another to try out new things, like I got him into bubble tea and hot pot, and he always teaches me the Aussie slangs and sayings. So sometimes I sound really Aussie. And yeah, I watch AFL with him, and he made me a fan of the Melbourne Demons, which is the team that he likes. Sometimes I cannot find the perfect word, but I would describe the word within the word that I know. And I'll tell him that I'm thinking a word, so he will help me to find that specific word, and maybe he'll come up with an even better word. So I think it's all about communication. I would suggest that number one, don't be afraid to communicate because communication is like the really important part of a relationship. Like, doesn't matter if it's intercultural or not. So let the other one know that you want to communicate with them and also find someone who understands you, obviously, and not just the language wise, but like understands your thought and respect your decision and all that. Yeah. I know if I'm going into a relationship that's interculture, then my me and my partner would definitely need to understand each other and also embrace the differences. We can't like fight over the differences, obviously, which I have found one, I guess. Well, firstly, I don't really make any romantic jokes. If it's any romantic, it will be like physical. So, no, because we would also always find it cringe, the romantic jokes, and we'll laugh about it. Even if I had a romantic joke and if it didn't understand, he will laugh at the fact that I made a horrible joke. So I guess when you make something into a funny thing or have a sense of humor, yeah. I love the fact that I can connect to the Australian culture a bit more with his help. And I think I'm scared about the thought if I decide to go back into my own home country and what the future might bring to us and what might change. Obviously, like a lot of intercultural relationships facing that issue. Yeah, but I think that all leaves for the future to think about. I just kind of imagine myself as an Aussie as well. So I don't think the fact that everyone would look at me as a foreigner, which I don't think everyone would. So at least I'm not thinking that myself. So I think that's a really important point. Don't make yourself like an outsider. Yeah. Mm. I think firstly, make sure they're not catfish. Also, don't afraid to talk to the person that you're trying to approach, because you'll never know the results if you never expressed yourself. And if you did, at least the person knows that you're confident and you're really into the person. Mm. I would say not much differences between us, and he is making me more Aussie, and he's more Chinese too right now. I don't find any differences between in Australia and in China and for the freedom of expression, but in fact, both of us don't like physical expressions in public, like, kissing, hugging, or etc. I think for certain people, it can be really hard in the beginning, but I think it's really important to communicate your feelings to the other person, and so they understand where you're coming from and where you're thinking. If they can't accept it, and if you guys can't find a balance between you two, then I think it's probably not worth pursuing that person. I think it's all about finding someone who understands you. And I think for sexual intimacy, everyone thinks differently. So, yeah, again, communication.